Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're going to do the last issue of The Little Monsters by Image Comics by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. And with last, I mean the last that I am going to review. I believe there's a couple more. I believe there is two or three more. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm done. I'm done. This is the last we're going to review and see if it's good or not. Well, you have already the answer, but let's dive in anyway. So, I'm forgetting all these names because I'm not on board anymore. I just don't care. We see a flashback. We see this girl, having I don't know, there's some internal thoughts that she have, and she talks about that was the day I walked alone and realized, maybe for the first time, how young I was. My dad and Finn and some others talked about the old times, even though I haven't lived through them. But that day I saw what forever looks like. But she didn't talk about what we are gonna see now. But now she's talking probably about the vampire bites. But what we are gonna see is a double splash page, or double place, double. Let me rephrase that. Double spread page, double splash page spread, whatever. It's double, and it's freaking ugly. Now look at this. So she's looking at the city on daylight, I guess. I always say if you do a splash, single or double spread, you should wow people. Now look at this. Aren't this the ugliest building that you have ever seen in years? And you can see it's all done with digital art. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind digital art. I mean, I know that digital art can be really, really good, but there's no effort, no detail. It's just square boxes, and the windows are just tiny square boxes, just like these windows are just tiny square boxes, and these windows are square boxes, and it's all the same. There's no effort, there's no depth, there's no detail. I mean, look at this. This is top of a building. It just looks ugly. It's just a bunch of scribbles that somebody says, "Hey, I got a pencil, and I'm do this, and then oh, I'm gonna do this, and then do this, and 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 do this, to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this, square, 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 square." Nothing. It's just ugly. And then all these other scribbles is that ROMIE, the silent, nice vampires, is doing with his art. He scribbles on everything, and she says, "Oh, that's the only narrative that we have, except for what's happened here in this box." So we see one of the twins. The other one is dead. He's been captured by this old guy, and the old guy says, "How many of you are there?" And he's hissing, and he's just. So you could better gonna tell me, or I'm gonna put this arrow through your eye. And he says, "Go ahead, and you'll think it stopped me." Old man says, "No, maybe not, but this will." So he's been boarded with sun rays, and he's just, I'm on fire, I'm melting. Well, that's not true, but you know what I mean. So he says, "Close it, close it. Just gonna make sure you play nice first, okay?" So again, we don't know who the good guys and the bad guys are because it's all black and white. Ha ha ha! Literally, I said it. Because this guy comes over as a one that wants to kill all these vampires because that's his goal. But on the other hand, the vampires killed his friends, so it's I know where he's coming from. But he asked him the question, says, "Tell me, are the others still out there waiting to get me when I come out?" "No, they went back. Back where?" "To the city. That's where we live." "How many?" "8 of us." "I mean, there were 8 of us." "Yeah, because your brother's now dead because of you're an idiot." So this man says, "They always told us to stay away from the city. Never knew why." And the twin says, "They told me to never leave." "They, who are they?" "The old ones, but that was a long time ago." Yeah, again, the old vampires that we see through the through the whole comic, but we still don't know who they are and what they want. And at this point, It's just tiresome that we, after 6 issues, we still do not know nothing. And I'm 100% sure that's deliberate, that you're keeping us in the dark. I mean, the creators. And, create a story around this vampire, but there is no story. There's only, I mean, what I can sum up in 6 issues is that there are a group of young vampires. They're living in the city, they play with each other, and they go outside of the city. They're meeting a man, they drink blood for the first time. I mean, human blood, not rat blood or whatever blood, and they change. And that's it. That's the story. And we're getting sprinkled all these small bits about these old ones that turning them. Not sure why. Why are they turning young people? I don't know. Why are there young people from all over the different places of the earth? Japan, somewhere in America. I don't know where. But they're picking them off one by one and then putting them in some kind of a city. And they told them, don't leave the city. Why? Why? I want freaking answers. And I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting for those answers. I should have said that at the end of the video, but who cares? Okay. I'm a little bit, bitter that I paid money for this and this is what it's turned out. But that's all. I mean, let's before we go further, just stay with me. That's how it is. I mean, I'm taking a gamble. Mostly it pays off. Sometimes it don't. This is one of these comics, just like The Nice House on the Lake, that it gave me hope that has a good premise, that has a nice premise, that has an interesting premise, and said, you know what, I'm going to try a couple of books and see where this is going. And then after I keep reading them and hoping that things would change, it inevitably stays the same, or it goes nowhere, or it turns into a crybaby fest, just like on The Nice House on the Lake, with feelings and gay stuff. Or creators like this going to tell you absolutely nothing. They stretch the whole story. I mean, it's just thin as butter over, I don't know, 9 or 10 issues. I mean, it's probably getting, you can get the whole story told in 6 issues, maybe. I don't know. Moving on. So he says at sundown, or when the sun comes up, when the sun goes down, we're going to move. He says, we ain't going back to the city, at least not yet. And he smiles. Okay, so the reader or the creator wants to think that he is the evil guy. I'm not so sure that he is the evil guy, according to what we have seen in the last issues. Moving on, and then we see some kind of an ugly transition from daylight to night. We have this girl, and the girl is saying, hey, so this is all yours? You drew this all by yourself? How long has this taken? And he says, it's, very long. I still can't believe that you are real. But then she says, can I ask what happened? I mean, why don't you talk? Now look at his face. And he does the stop emoji or whatever it is. And she says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And they're going somewhere. Now, what is up with this? I mean, ROMIE, that's his name, is probably the oldest vampire here, young vampire. He has come, I don't know, maybe from I forgot, maybe there was some kind of a time period and then in the corner of the box of the first couple of issues. I don't remember anymore. I believe he's come from the Middle Ages, But he acts as if somebody on Twitter says a mean word and he is offended. That's how he acts. I mean, it could be I could totally misread that. But look at his gesture and his facial expression. I mean, I think that somebody that lives in a very harsh place, like in the medieval times, where there's no technology, when you are very poor, you just live to survive, you are hunting game or a deer. Game is for those who don't know what it is, it's a rabbit type of creature, I guess. Is it? No, I'm forgetting. I believe it's so. It doesn't matter. Or other animals to eat, and you have to survive, and you've been spit on by common people in the city because you are a lowlife. I think you would be a very hard person, from what you have endured through those times. But Romy here acts like, oh no, somebody said something offensive, because that is what modern people are doing now, right? They are being offended 24/7. Younger people in their 20s or something, or mid-20s or even younger, they are being offended 24/7. So he acts like that. But again, that is how I see it. It could be mean totally wrong, but I'm totally different. But I'm not sure why he is doing this. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, that's my rant. Anyway, so the other ones, he says, shh. Well, he's not saying that because he doesn't talk. So these other group of vampires, his friends, quote unquote, I don't think that's fair. Fair, since when is anything fair, Bats? All we're saying is that maybe we don't tell Lucas and Yui. But why? Well, if there are more out there, talking about more humans, yeah, she's right. There can be too many left, right? Maybe we keep them from us. Okay, so they have plans on their own. But we always do everything together. What other choice do we have? Things have changed. I mean, really changed. We can stop now, not now that we know what it's like. They talk about how, human blood tastes like. But the human blood changed them, because this guy says, I'm already getting hungry, guys. Like, really hungry, not like before. Yeah, me too. And we said, I've got to stop and go back. We start hunting and we don't stop moving. Now, anyway, so they hear what's happening and they go back to Yui and guitar guy, and they say, "What hey, the other kids are here. Oh, we need to hide her. Take her to the library, Romy. Go." Okay, interesting. So they are meeting up with Yui and the guitar guy, and she says, "Hey, what has to be? Where were you guys? Nowhere." Yui says, "Bats. We found food, more foods. Bats, what did we just talking about? What did you find out anyway?" So he's immediately spilling the beans. Yui is a little bit pissed. "Food, you mean people?" "Yes, Yui, people. They told us to never feed on people. They made us promise." Okay, so we have some background about those older vampires that turned them to never go into outside of the city and drink human blood, I guess. But what do you think what would happen, dudes? Anyway, they told us a lot of things. And where are they now? Wait, where are the twins? And he says there was an accident. And they're getting into an argument, and they say he blames the older one that they keep the secret from them. They kept us here, they kept us children. And Yui says they kept us safe. And they're getting violent with each other a little bit. He says, "Safe from what? Don't you get it, Yui? We're the dangerous ones. And where are Ronnie and Raymond? What happened? Get off me, I swear, Lucas. Get off." And then he does this. Wait, what? That smell. There is one here. Okay. So the tables are turning a little bit. So where are they? Where did you hid them? Or hide them? And Yui says, we're not going to tell you. We wait until the sun comes up, and then and that person just goes away, and then all be normal again. And but Randy says, no, I forget his name. "It's never going back. Tell us where she is, or else what?" And then, "Or else we kill you too." So they're having a fight with each other, and it's established that these three just are the evil ones, or not really evil, just desperate for food. I don't know. And it leads into this one. We have the black and white, the good and the bad guys. It's split into camps now. And it's all fine and dandy, but like I said before, I'm not on board. I'm not on board anymore. It takes too long, and there is 9. It's mostly just filler and stretching out, and not really things are happening. Instead of giving us more mysteries and more questions that we have to wait for. Oh no, You want to know what's going on? Buy issue 7. Oh, you want to know what's after that? Buy issue 8. Oh yeah, we give you something. Buy issue 9. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I read this against my will because I was curious, but I knew eventually where this was going. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy Little Monsters again, guys. Sorry if you are interested in this book, but it's not for me anymore. I'm not gonna waste my money. I'd rather buy a 90s comic that I know I'm sure I got some fun with. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.